Everybody talks about building discipline with habits, track your workouts, your water, build momentum, but here's what no one tells you. It's not about discipline, it's about evidence. A chain of 100 red X's on your wall doesn't feel like progress, it's irrefutable proof you're not the same person you were before. So what is the don't break the chain method? Let's get into it. You choose something that you're gonna do. It's a repeatable task and you're gonna do it every single day. And every day you do it, you mark off on X. Now, if you never heard of this before, I hear you saying, and? So it's a task and I just mark it as done. Then what? The point is, you're repeating the same task every single day. And every time that you mark it done, you're basically creating a chain. The longer that chain goes, the more committed you are to it because you are giving yourself incontrovertible proof that you have done X habit, X task for Y number of days. Let's say, for example, that you're cutting and you are on a certain amount of calories per day, like in my case, 1,800 calories. Every single day that I successfully do 1,800 calories and stay on my meal plan, I mark it off. By this point, my chain is about 60 days. I'm gonna put it on the screen. Here are some of my chains. First of all, I got 10,000 steps. I'm on a 48-day streak. I've done 10,000 steps a day, 48 days straight. I got weigh in 48 days straight. Every morning, wake up, weigh yourself, right? I got 1,800 calories, 150 grams protein, 47 days. The chain is actually longer, but I just started it a day after when I made this app. I have lift 7 weeks. Notice it says weeks, not days, because the way that this chain works is that I lift 3 times a week, and each week is considered one link. So I'm on a 7-week streak because some habits you cannot do every day. So this is one way to actually make them work with this method. I'm going to talk about that later, so stay tuned. The last one, leaks, that's psychological self-management. A leak for me just means that I do not overextend, I do not overcompensate, I do not put myself out on a limb looking for others to fix me. I do not unnecessarily expose myself, I suppose. It's basically a psychological containment so that I can break some bad habits that I have. So that's this app. Let me also show you this one. This one's called Habit Kit. You do not need both. The first one was Strides, right? This is Habit Kit. Habit Kit uses this one, which if you're familiar with programming or GitHub, it's kind of like a GitHub graphic, though not exactly the same. And each column is like 7 days. So for example, you see weigh-in, right? That today is Saturday. So you see that blank one bottom right. That just means that, you know, I haven't logged Saturday yet, but I've done 6 days this week. So this is like however many weeks I've been doing the weigh-in. I started this a little bit later than the other one, but I don't know. I have both of them. I really don't know why. I don't need both. Here I have, like, for example, full body 3X. That's 3 times a week. So you see over here, like there's 3 each week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the past couple of weeks. All right. Now, here's one that I downloaded a long time ago that I'm never going to delete, even though I don't use it anymore. And that's the one that I quit smoking with. So it's this app. I think it's a ghost app. It's just dead. And it's really not practical at all. But if I scroll all the way back, look at this chain. Look at this. 1,421 days in. Let me just scroll. Look at this. Look. So I started in June 2021. You see, on June 19th, I didn't smoke, right? June 23rd, 25th, 28th, 29th, I smoked. You see, I was trying to start this chain. And every time that I broke it, like I did 4 days, right? 19, 20, 21, 22, I did 4 days. And on the 23rd, I broke it, right? And I was so pissed. And I'm like, oh man, I'm going to try again. 24th, broke it again, 25th. And I was like, oh, come on, man. Can't I do this? Can't I do, I'm going to win, bro. I can do this. 26, 27, and finally you see starting on July, late July, bro, I messed up the chain. Oh, even August. I must have been pissed. I must have been definitely pissed. Yeah, thinking back on it, like I had almost all of July, right? And then I broke it on the 27th and the 30th, and then again in August. I was so pissed because I wanted a perfect month. So then you see after that, September 2021, boom, perfect month. Let me scroll. Look at this. This is years. 1,421 day chain. And you see here August 2nd. Every once in a while, I'm just gonna open up this app and I'm just gonna like click all these like it's like a game of whack-a-mole or something, right? I don't even need to do it anymore. Hell no, I am never ever deleting this. 1,451 days in. I like how it says your chain is going well. Now, if I were to wake up tomorrow, do you think I would say to myself, maybe today I'm just gonna have a hamburger? Let's say a hamburger would ruin my calories. I would go way, way over. Do you think that I would actually do it? I'm gonna think to myself, whoa, man, I've been doing this for 60 days, bro. 60 days of my life, nonstop. I haven't missed a day. I haven't missed a day. Look at the chain, look at it. It's right there in front of me. There's the streak. Day, done, done. You think I'm gonna sit here now and be like, let me ruin it so I can start over? Nah, bro. We get very, very emotionally invested in this. So don't break the chain is a method where you basically create leverage over yourself because you give yourself proof that you are doing something that ideally is going to cause some kind of change or result. And the longer you do it, the stronger the proof is and the more painful breaking that is. Now, let's get into some details because on the surface, yeah, it's like pick one thing, do it every day, mark it off. But there's some finer subtleties here that people usually don't tell you about. And it's one of the reasons that people just try this and then they say, no, it was okay. I did X habit for like 2-3 weeks and then I was like, eh. So first off, you gotta choose needle movers. You can't choose something lame like normies would be like, drink water. You're supposed to be drinking water anyway, right? You want to track it, fine, track it somehow, but this is not a needle mover. This is not a life-changing thing. You got to pick things that are going to create real leverage. So drink water, get enough sleep, and all this nonsense. It's not going to make it meaningful enough for you to get the full effect, for you to experience the power of this technique. Now, let's say instead that you did every day do 5 cold DMs with a highly personalized message to potential clients. Now that is a needle mover. So you gotta distill the tasks that are gonna get you to where you want to go. Sometimes it's not that clear. Now let me just get a little deeper on you. Sometimes it's not even clear what the task is. Let's say you're starting a YouTube channel. What would an ideal daily task be for you to start building a chain? Now, you might say, upload every day. Okay, you might not. You might be like, it's more about quality and quantity and all of that. But for the sake of argument, let's say that most people, the average person will be like, just upload every single day. Build a habit of showing up every day, getting the reps in. Now, could this work? Yes, but again, for the sake of argument, let's say that's not quite practical because by the time that you script, you shoot, you edit, there's not enough time in one single day for you to do that every single 24-hour period and show up consistently. So now you gotta modify it. You could do something like work on my YouTube channel for 1 hour every day. So now you're taking 1 hour every day, whether you're scripting, shooting, or editing, you are doing this every single day. Does that work? That is definitely something that you can sustain, that's gonna create a chain that will give you meaningful results. You might have to play with it. You gotta sit there and think, what is the actual needle mover? Very important. The second thing that I would recommend, and I don't really do it, but I think it's worth mentioning, make it visible. Get a physical calendar, put it on the wall, and mark out X's on it. Now, I don't do it because I use apps. There's a lot of apps. Usually they're called habit apps, like habit trackers, that show you a habit streak. Now, I would recommend that you do not go and start messing around with apps because next thing you know, you're gonna spend an hour having downloaded 5-6 dumbass habit trackers and like, maybe this one works better. Oh, this has a better interface. Bro, don't overanalyze, all right? I will recommend you the one that I use is called Strides. And I use, and there's a second one that I like called Habit Kit. But again, you don't really need them. You can just do it on a calendar on your wall. But if you're like me and you prefer apps and you remain consistent, because an app is quiet, an app is not gonna be in your face. But if you are good with working with that, in other words, you have the notifications on, you put it on your your main phone screen, or you use the widget, like the largest widget it has, so it's just in your face every time you open up your phone, then yeah, it's gonna work great. If you're just gonna download an app and it's gonna get lost in your app folders or something, like, don't bother. That's not gonna do anything. And the third thing that I wanna tell you, this technique is obviously best suited for repeatable daily tasks. If there's something that you can do every single day and you build a chain, every day on the calendar is like 1x. It's very psychologically satisfying. It builds a lot of leverage with yourself, or is it builds leverage against yourself? But what if it's something like you're trying to reach 100 push-ups consecutive? Don't even ask, okay? We're talking about 100 consecutive push-ups, all right? Not like, I did 5 sets of 20 in one day. Okay, soy boy. So let's say you're trying to do 100 consecutive push-ups. You probably figured out that you can't be doing push-ups every single day. Every other day, 3 times a week, you have to build that up. If you do them every single day, you don't have recovery time. So how does it work in this case? This is the only disadvantage of the method. You can, however, modify it. For example, you lifting 3 times a week. So now simply consider a week as one link. When you worked out 3 times in a single week, or you did your push-up sessions 3 times in a single week, that 1 week is now one link in the chain. So you could have, say, if you're doing it with a physical calendar, get a separate calendar that's gonna be the weekly one. Whenever you check off like 1, 2, 3, then just, I don't know, maybe just draw a line across the entire week, like done, like a diagonal line. Not as psychologically satisfying as the daily thing, but it can work. For example, that's what I do with my habit tracker. Right now, I'm on a 6 or I think a 7 link streak with my lifting. In other words, I have now lifted for like 6, 7 weeks straight, 3 times a week, without missing a single session. That's what I wanted to tell you. Don't break the chain. It's an amazing method. I like it a lot, man, because the manifestation stuff and the affirmation stuff and the journaling and all of these things, they have their place, but there's always that critic in you. There's always that voice, that ego, that whatever you want to call it, that's always gonna just be like, yeah, bro, no, you're not. You're not whatever you think you are. You're not cool. You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna win. We all have that voice. This is the way to make it shut up. I mean, just do a thought experiment with me right now. Let's say that you work on your YouTube channel 1 hour every single day. Let's just assume that this translates to you putting out like 3 videos a week. Now, imagine that day 1, you did it 1 hour, check. Day 2, check. Day 3, check. Now you got 7 days. Imagine a 7-day chain. You've been doing it for 7 days straight, working on your business 1 hour every single day for 7 days straight. Now, imagine that it's 30 days, that's a month. Now imagine 100, imagine 500, imagine 1,000, imagine a 1,000 day chain. Imagine for 1,000 days, you work on your channel 1 hour every day. That's over 3 years. You have proven to yourself, you're somebody who doesn't give up. You have proven to yourself, you're somebody who puts in the work and nothing stops you. You have proven to yourself that you're unstoppable. I say we don't stop, I mean it. And of course, imagine all the progress that will have come from you simply building this chain. If you do not use this method and instead you're just like, I'm gonna work on my channel 1 hour a day. I mean, is that good? Of course it is. But here's the thing. You don't have that psychological leverage now. You're prone to, you're susceptible to self-sabotage. Like you're sitting there now and you're like, I'm gonna work on my channel. And then the voice starts, man, we've been doing this like, how long have you been doing this? How many days has it been? How many weeks? How many months? You don't have enough subscribers, bro. You don't have enough views, bro. You don't have enough this. You don't have enough that. But if you have the chain, all you care about is like, I just don't want to break my chain. That's what I wanted to say. I think it's a very helpful technique. I have put it to great use and I really believe in this one. I say believe in it. I believe that it's useful. Until next time, start your chain. Let me know what chain you started down below actually. And then all you got to do is start and not stop.